I guess look around, I end up being the most senior member of this panel, and having seen a number of scandals and also participated in various investigations, I don't think I've ever seen any investigation or review by this committee or subject that has so riveted and shocked the American people. Going home last weekend, almost to a person, everyone asked me about this. Maybe it's because what Mr. Cummings said, you know, people expect truth and trust in government. Everyone, just about everyone that I deal with or talk to pays taxes or has to deal with IRS. So this has really come home to them in a very personal way. They want us to get to the bottom of this. And Mr. George, you know, so far IRS would have us believe that this is a bunch of lower-level IRS employees who got around the water cooler one day in Cincinnati and said, who do we target this week? And they sort of got out of hand, and that's the end of the story. Do you think that's the end of the story?
I do not, Congressman.
You do not. And neither do the American people. What's disturbing, too, is I made this little chart this morning. Sort of the pattern. This isn't very fancy. The staff not highly paid graphics here, but you know, this all started back in 2010. And here's a long list, Mr. Shulman, of members of Congress who contacted you, and I see Sarah Hall Ingram, I see Lerner, on and on. Not just people like Mr. Eisen and myself of this committee, but senators and everyone else asking questions here, all the way through. And for 27 months, you said you did all you could to expedite those requests. For 27 months from here to here, nothing got done. None of those were approved, were they? Not one. Not one.
I defer to Mr. George, who's
I'm
looked
just
into
telling
the
you,
details.
we checked 27 months, none. So what you're saying it doesn't hold truth. The thing, too, and you may disagree with the Tea Party or conservative groups, so whether you're liberal or conservative, Americans under the right of this little document, the Constitution, you know, maybe not in the framework of the Constitution, but right at the beginning, we have 10 amendments. The Founding Fathers, to pass it, put in there, the first is the freedom of speech. You closed down or gagged for 27 months people, or folks who work for IRS, closed them down for 27 months between 2010, when we were discussing policies of expanding government, of health care important to the American people, of a whole host of issues, plus the election coming up. For 27 months, you gagged or closed down the legitimate right of those folks to participate in the process under the Constitution. Do you disagree with that?
Let me premise that I was, because on purpose, I was not heavily involved in
let
me finish, in tax-exempt organizations, but my best understanding is people were not closed down during this time. My best understanding, though, is that people were operating at that time, and there's also, my best understanding is there's a whole other option for someone to be a 501c4.
Did you know, Mr. Miller,
they don't need to apply.
Did you know Mr. Miller or had sent or had you sent approve of sending Ms. Lerner down to look at this?
Mr. Miller informed me sometime in the spring that he was going to look into the matter further and find out what was going on down in the
But did you know Ms. Lerner was doing it?
My interactions on this were directly with my deputy.
Okay. Well, did you know, for example, Ms. Lerner, who's the head of it, got a total of $740,000 between 2009 and 2012, over $42,000 in bonuses? Would you check off on bonuses? And this is the one that used to sit there and was going to testify but didn't. Do you check off
until now, that number does not sound familiar. I didn't individually make decisions, but I probably signed off on overall agency
And have you
compensation.
participated in the political process? Could you tell the committee of your political participations, donations?
My whole life?
Well, yes. Are you, I don't know your background. I heard you were appointee of one administration, but what is your history of participation?
My full life history of participation in politics, I don't.
The gentleman's time is soon to expire. We could take a short version,
let me not
please.
try to take
Contributed, for example, to parties and groups?
Have I?
Yeah.
In the past? To the best of my recollection, I have.
You have?
Yeah, I mean, sorry, to the best of my recollection, I have. I haven't in a long time, didn't make any contributions while I was IRS Commissioner.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
The chair now recognizes the gentlelady.